Hello again at macOS 10 Screencast.com. My name is Andreas. In this screencast you are about to see Alfred. To be exact, Alfred's core functions, which are available for free. Alfred has successfully made it into the blogosphere a couple of months ago, and I thought it's a pretty good idea to take a look at the core functions of Alfred. This screencast is produced by me or by macOS 10 Screencast.com and free-mac-software.com. If you're interested in iPhone, iPad and Mac freeware, just go to their website and take a look. So in this screencast we will take a look at, or we will see how Alfred deals with file launching, file finding, quick look, Spotlight, and web searches and the like. I hope you enjoy the screencast. Bye. Alfred is a simple application launcher like every other application launcher out there, with a couple of differences though. First of all, an application launcher launches application using abbreviations. For instance, I can simply type SAF to launch Safari. Now when I just press return, now a new Safari window pop opens, loading macOS 10 Screencast.com, my personal homepage or start page. Alfred doesn't only search for applications, but also searches for other file types as well. So for instance, if I want to open this file 1445.gif, I simply hit the Alfred keyboard shortcut, which is in my case Option Space. Now I can simply type 1445. You see, this is not exactly what I wanted, because Alfred now tries to tell me, well, I think you want to calculate something, but that's just not the case. So here's one of the main differences to other application launchers. Alfred uses a real text field, so instead of making me retype the whole phrase, I can simply hit the left arrow key continually, 1, 2, 3, 4, to go back to the beginning, and now I can simply use a special keyword that tells Alfred that I want to find something. The keyword is find followed by a whitespace character. So rather than reinventing the wheel of Spotlight, Alfred uses Spotlight to find those files. So if I press the return key now, we see a new Finder window pop opens, highlighting 1445.gif. And if I press the spacebar to quick look the file, you see that this is really the file I was looking for. But again, this was really not the thing I wanted to do. I wanted to open that file. So let me close this window down. Let me activate Alfred again. And now I use a different keyword that is open followed by white space character. And now you see it already tells me open file, but I haven't found any files yet. So if I type disabling, we will see 4 search results, or receive 4 search results. The first 2 search results are sitting on my desktop, and the others are in my Dropbox. We also see the file type. The second one here is a PDF, and the first one here is a replicator. If I highlight the first one, either with my mouse cursor or with the arrow keys, and then hit return, you'll see the Safari pop opens, loading the web location of that particular file. If I try to open a file or find a file and say I want to search for that file, you see that I got the spelling wrong of disabling. If I want to have the correct spelling, I can simply go to the beginning of this text field and simply type spell. Alfred corrects me here and says, well, I think disabling should really be disabling. Okay, this is pretty great, but let's say I want to spell another word. For instance, I want to say labeling. We see, okay, labeling is spelled with a single L, but we can also search for definitions. So if I go to the beginning again and simply delete spell and type define, we see that labeling, first of all, it's corrected. Secondly, it's a noun, a small piece of paper, blah, blah, blah. If I highlight this search result here and press return, dictionary opens, highlighting the entry for label, and I can look up the definition of this particular word in all its entirety. Let me just close down dictionary for a moment. And let me show you something else. For instance, I want to search Google. Google is also pretty easy from within Alfred. I can simply type goo.gle, sorry, I misspelled it, followed by a white space. The first result here already says search Google for, and then it asks me for a phrase. For instance, I want to search for Mac OS X screencasts, and then I simply hit return. Safari opens with the query Mac OS X screencasts here, and it finds all the results for Mac OS X screencasts. Another pretty useful feature, if I open Alfred again and then simply type 3 plus 3, I get the result 6, but it also says that the result can be copied to the clipboard when I hit return. This is pretty useful if I simply want to do, or if I want to do a simple calculation, but I can also do a bit more sophisticated stuff. For instance, I can write /6. This tells Alfred now that I want to add 3/6 to 3, but I can do also more stuff. For instance, I can put this in brackets, multiply by 3, exponential 2. This way we can do a lot calculations directly from within Alfred without going to the calculator. This is the first time I will have a look with you at the preferences, because I said already that Alfred can be customized with those search results. So if I click the little cog symbol here, I can go here to web searches, and here we see all the built-in searches for Alfred. For instance, we see here search Google for, and then the phrase. This is what appears when we type Google. You see search Google for, and then the phrase. And from this list, we can enable or disable certain searches. For instance, I can search Google Maps for, and simply say, well, this should really be Guma, for instance, Google Maps. And then when I open Alfred's text field or search field, I can simply type Guma. It says already search Google Maps for, and then I type Cambridge. I don't know why anyone would search for Cambridge, but it's a lovely place to be. As I said, these searches can be customized, and it is also possible to add custom searches. This is something we will have a look at later. Something I want to point out though, in this part of the screencast, are the system commands. These can also be customized. Therefore, Alfred has these text fields here that tell Alfred that for particular keywords, it should start the screensaver, for instance, show the trash, empty the trash. So if I type trash, the first search result here is show trash. If I hit return, the trash pop opens, and in here you see my failed attempts to record the screencast. If I want to get rid of those files, I simply type empty trash. And if I would type return now, the trash would be emptied. So let's have a look at some advanced features of Alfred. I've already activated the custom searches entry here in the Alfred preferences. And if I hit the plus symbol here, you'll see a new dialog pop opens telling me a search URL, and down here it says use curly braces query in curly brackets or brackets for the search term, e.g. http://twitter.com/search/q equals, and then again the curly brackets, and in the curly brackets it should say query. Now let's build such a custom search. For instance, if I want to search TED for a certain query, I'll simply go to the website first and then enter some keyword or a search that I easily can identify. And then at the URL field, it says http search $q equals, and then the same characters or the same string I've entered into the search field. Now if I just highlight this text and then go to Edit, Copy, and then close down this window and switch back or switch to Alfred, and here paste the text and now replace ASDF with the curly braces query thing. I can also choose display text. For instance, I'll stick with the Alfred rules, search TED for single quotes, and I want to give it a keyword as well, which is in my case TED. You can also test this custom search right from menu by hitting the test button, and here we see www.ted.com blah 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 question mark or question mark q equals Alfred app. So this custom search seems to be working, and now I just need to press the add button here, activate Alfred, type TED followed by Sir Ken Robinson, for instance, hit return, and it will open the TED page searching it for Sir Ken Robinson. If I go to applications, here it says fuzzy partial matching for applications. What this does is basically, if I activate Alfred and type Gband, for instance GarageBand, or GC for Google Chrome, you see Alfred hasn't found anything, although if I go to Spotlight and hit or type in GarageBand, those files or those applications exist on my computer. Now this is what fuzzy matching is all about. If I activate this, activate Alfred again, and then simply type Gband, you'll see instantly GarageBand is highlighted. This is a lot different from the Spotlight search, because if I type Gband here, you'll see nothing is found. So this is pretty great if I want to simply search for applications without typing the whole application name over and over again. Another little trick for accessing or working faster with Alfred is if I type Twitter, which is a special keyword again for Alfred, followed by a white space character, and then simply type ZETT, triple T, sorry, or ZE triple T for the Americans. And then if you have a look at the right of the search entries, it says command 2 and command 1. If you ever have a search result in Alfred and want to have quick access to the entries, you can also use command followed by a number to access those search results easily and quickly. So if I want to search or open my Twitter user page, my personal Twitter user page, I simply type command 1. Safari opens, loading my personal profile page. And for those who are into mathematics or physics or science, you might want to have a look at the calculator. Here you can enable the advanced calculator, which enables you to use sine and logarithmic functions and I don't know what all this stuff means. But if it's enabled, activate Alfred, type equals, and then simply use one of those keywords, sine, and in brackets simply type, for instance, I don't know, 30, and Alfred will calculate the result for you. Now for the last part of the screencast, we will have a look at some more functions of Alfred and how to make Alfred feel more natural on your Mac. For instance, if you open Alfred Preferences and go to the General tab, here you'll see an entry called Alfred Hotkey. Now if you highlight, or if I highlight this text field and then type command space, you see that Spotlight opens. So in case you want to replace Spotlight with Alfred, because Alfred is just so much more awesome, go to the Apple menu and System Preferences, followed by Spotlight. Down here it says Spotlight Menu Keyboard Shortcut Key. And here we can set a different keyboard shortcut key for Spotlight search. If I type Option Space, you'll see, although Alfred already uses this keyboard shortcut, I can already set this keyboard shortcut. Now if I type Option Space, so instead of opening Alfred, Spotlight comes to the foreground. Now if I go back to Alfred preferences, because this keyboard shortcut is now not in use anymore, I can simply go to the Alfred hotkey, type Command Space, and we have successfully replaced Spotlight with Alfred. In case you don't like Alfred's grayish theme here, there's another thing you can do about it. Just go to Appearance and switch from light to dark, and then when I activate Alfred's window, you see it's much darker. I personally prefer the dark mode as well. If you want to make Alfred a bit quicker or make it appear a bit quicker, you can disable Fade in Alfred window, which disables the fade in transition. In my case, I also prefer not to fade in, because I believe it seems like Alfred is working faster just because the transition is disabled. Another thing I want to point out here is if you're a usage addict or a statistics addict, you can go to usage and look up how often you have activated or used Alfred in the last couple of days. And last but not least, I want to point you to Experimental, where you can first of all reset the OS X Spotlight search database, but I would also recommend to not press this button, which I hope you really do not. So as we've just seen, Alfred is pretty self-explanatory. It works as advertised, I would say. You can customize it as much as you would think about, or as would think of an application such as Alfred. Again, if you are interested in this software, please take a look at free-mac-software.com. Until next time, take care. Bye.